welcome back to my channel. So today is a summer 2023 decorate with me video. Now I'm going to do this a little bit differently to my normal clean and decorate with me videos. My cleaner has been here, so I don't need to do any cleaning. I just need to do some decorating. Now I've been really feeling the sort of warm minimalist style that started, I think, way back in 2022. I know I'm late to the party and now maximalism is all the rage, but for me and my lifestyle at the moment, I'm feeling like I'm really overwhelmed with all the things that my kids have to do. They're growing up really fast. They're having a lot of play dates, a lot of things to keep up with. And for my home and for the summer, I wanted to keep everything really simple. So I want to try and create the warm minimalist style in my home. Now, given I have a Scandinavian home, so we don't have a lot of clutter, but I do have very traditional style decor in my home here in Sweden. So the lines of the house are very clean, so very easy to probably emulate this style. I wanted to try and do it, and while I'm doing it, I'm going to go through all the principles that I've been reading up on Pinterest and on YouTube on how to achieve this warm minimalist style. So if you want to do it, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I have a few pieces I bought from H&M. If you haven't seen that video, I'll leave a link and let's start decorating. So I've got my list here of all the things I need to do in order to create this style, and I'm going to go through the list one at a time and then show you what I'm going to do. The first one, really a no-brainer. It's to edit. So I'm not decluttering my cupboards or spaces. I'm just decluttering my home. A lot of cushions on my sofa. I've got a tablecloth on my beautiful wooden table just because for spring I didn't want to have so much wood, so I covered the table, but in this new warm minimalist style, wood is a large part of the aesthetic. So as you can see, I'm just going to go around the room decluttering everything. I've got these wreaths up here in the window. They're going to have to go. I'm going to take away cushions. I have bought a few cushions for the new look. I'm going to try and keep everything as pared down as possible. So as you can see, I'm going to move my way into the hall as well as the kitchen and declutter everything. Step number 2 is warm neutrals. Now I've got a dark blue wall and lots of very white walls, which is very Scandinavian. That's what we had when we moved into the house. We chose this blue color, but for the purposes of this video and trying to create a lot of warm neutrals, I'm going to create the warm neutral color palette with all my accessories. And luckily for me, I've got these very calming, very lovely beige linen curtains. I've got some antique pieces in the home that's going to create this warm neutral color for me without having to paint my wall. Step number 3 is adding texture. Warm minimalist style, you really need to add texture. Considering you have to edit your place and really take away as many accessories as possible to keep everything minimal and simple, and you've got yourself a warm color palette, you need to add in some textures and different types of linen, a few cushions, and it can be lots of wood pieces to bring in some warm cozy feeling into your home. You could use some sheepskin, whatever it is that's going to keep your space feeling warm and cozy, and in the neutral color palette is something that I would recommend that you bring into your home. I bought this cushion at H&M, so I'm going to add this. I bought this bowl from H&M as well. So these were really pieces that I picked out very intentionally because you want to style your space very intentionally for this look, because you don't want to have too much clutter. So I'm going to shop my home and find all the things that I think would work with this, and then I'm going to put them on the table outside on my deck so that I have everything laid out like I usually do, and then I'm going to be able to choose the pieces I want to bring into my home and see how I want to style them. Step number 3 and 4 are really tied together, I think. Vintage or antique pieces, old pieces, as well as pieces that are going to be meaningful. These two things have to be found in the warm minimalist style. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through my home and show you the antiques and give you an idea of where they came from. So they have a personal story as well as their antique and old pieces. So together they really create the third and fourth step very seamlessly in my home. So number 1, I'm going to take you through a few pieces. I'm not going to show you all. I'm going to do another video on all the antique pieces we've had, and I'm going to give you a detailed description, but now I'm just going to go through them really fast. So in order to create this look, I have this old chest here, which is up from the north. I ransacked my father-in-law's barn, and it is really beautiful, very imperfect chest. My husband wanted to paint it. I said no. I really thought it was really beautiful the way it was. So that's a piece that I have in my home that's old. It's definitely an antique. It's over 100 years old, as well as got such a lot of character, charm, and has a very personal story. The doors that you see here are also antiques. They were bought by me and my husband some time ago. We tried to renovate our flat in Sunby Bay, and we tried to use these doors to create a walk-in closet. We never really ended up doing it, and now they've become a feature in our new home. I absolutely love them. They really create a really nice warm feeling in the home, adding in some wood and some texture as well. They've got some detailing on it. It's almost like I've got some molding on the wall, so they really are very special. This single chair in my sitting room is also an antique. My husband bought this at an auction. The table chairs are also antiques. The dining table chairs are also antiques. They come also from up in the north. This bowl is an antique. This is up also from the north. And this one I purchased a few years ago. I think it's definitely an antique or vintage at least. So as you can see, I've got a lot of these pieces in my home already, which is going to be really helpful for me to create this warm minimalist style. Step number 6 in creating this warm minimalist style is to have mismatched furniture. Now this is what I found on the internet and on YouTube, and I was really excited because that's all I have in this home: mixed matched furniture. I hate matching furniture. I have since the time I started decorating, so I love to have pieces that I picked from different areas. Some of them are new, some of them are new but they look old, some of them are actually old and antique, and I like to put them all together because I really think it creates a nice story and a really interesting space. So I already had that going for me to create this warm minimalist style. So that would be the next step, and I have already got it. As you can see here in my sitting room, I've got that antique chair I spoke about. This Chesterfield is a new Chesterfield. We bought it when we moved into the house, so it is not an antique or vintage by any means, but it does give off that old school vibe. Opposite that, I've got a grey cloth sofa. So I mixed a lot of materials here in my home to begin with, so I really was excited because that was an easy transition for me to create this warm minimalist style. Moving on to the dining room, this dining table is a new table. The chairs are antiques. We'll mix them together, as well as in our kitchen we have a new table. It's an outdoor table actually that I'm using in the kitchen, and then you can see we've got a vintage sofa chair there. That's very traditional Swedish sofa chair. So as you can see, I've mixed a lot of my furniture already, so that step is already complete for my transformation. Number 7 has to be your lighting. So warm minimalist style really comes down to your lighting, especially in the evening. You want to keep your lighting really warm, different types of lighting. You don't want to have any track lighting above your ceiling. You have these sort of spotlights that are in my ceiling. I do have some light fixtures that I can use, but they are not on dimmers, so I really need to create some layered lighting. Now I've always loved mood lighting and layered lighting, so that has always been a part of my home. So as you can see, I have the lampshade behind me, and I've got a lamp on the other side. I've got some candles, I've got some low lights, and I love to have these sort of mood lighting. So that is a really integral part of the warm minimalist style. The final step that I'm going to use, I'm sure there are many other steps that you could follow to create a warm minimalist style. For me, it is to be using warm metals, bronze and sort of golds, even blacks. These are all colors that you can incorporate into metals in subtle ways to create a warm, inviting space for your home without having to have too much clutter. so much for joining me today. I hope this video has been fun or helpful to you. If you think I've achieved the look, or if not, leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think. I will be back next week. We're heading on over to IKEA to go and see what we can find there to create a warm minimalist style home. Everybody has access to IKEA, and IKEA is a really good price range really to find things. So let's go see what we can find. Subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you here next week. Bye bye.